The first couple of guys that I met, I happened to only have one day off. I was working at the time, and I met them in a hostel, and they were Israeli. And I said, "Oh, great! Well, cool. I'm Palestinian. That's interesting. Why don't we go for Arabic food? Because I've been dying for some. I've been here for a month, kind of thing. Like, do you guys want to go get some Arabic food?" And they were like, "Cool. Yeah, that's so cool." And we went out for Arabic food, and Arabic food in the middle of Argentina is like rare. So we did that, and we totally got to know each other. And then that was on the west side of Argentina, and then we kept in touch. I was there altogether for about 5 months, so throughout all of us traveling. And then finally, I sent an email, and I said something about Palestine, and just mentioned the word Palestine in my email. And one of the friends just wrote back, and he said, "Oh, who are you to say?" Basically said, "Well, Palestine, that doesn't exist. There's no country of Palestine. Like, what are you talking about?" And I don't even think I responded. I think I just left it at that. Like, I couldn't believe after this whole exchange, and it was just like any other kind of person that I would meet and become friends with. And we had not talked about those things. We had talked about their life as being part of the military, and even things like, oh, they were so proud that they had slept with some girl in one of the watchtowers, and things that's the last thing that I would ever expect to hear as a Palestinian. And so then the next group of people I met, I said, "You know what? I'm just going to do this different. I'm just not going to tell them I'm Palestinian. Let's just see how that changes, how our friendship grows or whatever." So I ended up meeting quite a few more Israeli people when I was in southern Argentina, and we all were camping and hiking and doing all of these typical things. There was at least probably 20 different Israeli, former Israeli military group of young people sitting around a campfire, and they started singing songs. And I didn't know what they were singing, and then so finally I asked, I said, "What are you guys singing about over there?" And they said, "Oh, it's a song for one of our lone soldiers, like one of our lost soldiers that we could never find again. It's a song for him." And I said, "Oh," I was like, "if I started singing, we'd be here for years, I can't imagine. Just the thought of it was so sad for me to think, I can't believe that this song is famous, and it's, the amount of people who have died and, they've been a part of probably killing is just so unprecedented in comparison." And that definitely irked me. And then, after I think they had been back home or I was back home, I revealed to them as well that I was Palestinian, maybe a month later, and I obviously probably wouldn't have seen them again. And I just emailed them and I said, "I just want you to know that I'm Palestinian." And then I never heard back from them. If anything, that experience, it made me realize that the people actually in those front lines doing that are so young and are so naive. And it's they don't even, what they're taught in school. And they would teach me about, oh, well, these are the things we learn in school and things like that. And just their whole idea of everything that's happening in the country they actually live in is so, it's missing half the history. The fact that they were younger than I was, and I was only I think 24 at the time. And to have them holding guns and just controlling someone like my dad, or all these older people. And that's one thing my dad always said. He said, the reason for the Intifada is that a lot of the youth have only seen their parents in a position of weakness. They've never seen their parents in a powerful position in their community because they can't be. And so now they're taking matters into their own hands because they can't rely on the abilities of their parents because their parents have never been able to take that approach. So these are sort of the second generation of people rising up to say, forget this, I've had enough. And so the thought of these, young people controlling my dad or my family or, it's just revolting.